Okay, let's be honest. The number 2 question I get after how do I change my child's behavior is, if I'm not using consequences, then what? How will my children ever learn that their behaviors and actions have consequences? Yes, this is a typical response to a fear-generated question. Mostly this fear is aroused in you because it's hard to imagine what you can't see. Growth and development take time, and we are a results-oriented society. We want to see it. Usually we want it quick or now. This fear often brings up this nagging feeling like we need to do something or we need to make kids feel the effects of their actions. But I think that you can be more confident than that. Faith is hard to go on, but it never disappoints. I'm not really sure where we were misguided into thinking that we need to apply more pressure rather than step back and allow our kids to feel the natural consequences of their actions and then letting their morality develop from there. We unconsciously assume the worst of kids, like they're going to take advantage or control us or direct our decisions and behaviors. No. 9 times out of 10, they're going to surprise you with their capacity to reflect on their behavior and to understand and consider others.
Peter really played a dirty trick on us. And all the punishment he got was that he had to promise not to do it again.
Sometimes a promise isn't enough.
I think from now on, you two had better leave the discipline to us, okay?
Okay.
We're sorry.
Sometimes you need to leave the discipline to the relationship. We don't leave behind the guidance just because we leave behind the external controls. You're still in charge of being a steady spotter, ready to hold the boundaries. You are just no longer needed to administer whacks to the body, mind, spirit, heart, or autonomy of a child in order to make them feel the effects of their behavior, or just to ensure that kids learn to do better. In fact, that usually backfires. When you crack down on the rules with harsh enforcement rather than with an open heart and an open line of communication, your kids harden into dysfunctional patterns. I've said it before, but let's go a little bit deeper and look at what you can do if you're no longer punishing. The first thing you can do is find the teachable moment. If there is time and everyone is regulated and receptive, ask yourself, what is my goal? Does my child need more skill practice or some new ideas for managing strong emotions? Is the defiance stemming from a relationship in need of repair? Or is my child holding extra stress and anxiety that's manifesting in his behaviors? Identifying what you are actually trying to teach your child will save you from directing and demanding, because all that does is rile everyone up, but rarely does it solve any problems or allow kids to practice any new skills. Next, I want you to look under the hood and reframe behavior. Reflect what you understand and intuit instead of what you see on the surface and want to judge and evaluate as good or bad. Instead of, don't speak to me like that, or one more time and you're in a timeout, try something like, you're feeling very angry. Your words are telling me that. Please tell me again. I'm going to try to help you so that you can use words that are acceptable in our family. And then reframe what you hear. What I heard you say was that you were feeling really mad, that I turned away when you tried to speak and you had something very important to tell me and you feel rejected. Model the behavior that you want. Give your child the language that you want him to use when he feels distressed, and he will pick up on those habits. Next, acknowledge the good to create more connection. Nobody likes to be told what they're doing wrong. It separates us and makes us feel trapped. And kids tend to lash out when we point out their faults and their mistakes, and we try to make them notice how it affects others. This just creates shame. And when we feel shame, we run from whatever causes it. We don't embrace people who try to make us notice our behavior by using shame. So acknowledge the good in your child. You wanted to tell me something and you couldn't stop yourself. You tried really hard, but the feelings were overwhelming. Or you were so hurt and feeling sad or rejected that your body reacted before you could stop and think. You didn't want to hurt anyone. It was just so hard to stop yourself from hitting or throwing. This creates understanding and connection with a child who, if acting in negative ways, is desperately craving it. So instead of using blame, shame, and logic or punitive consequences to reach a child, use your heart and move past the punitive power play to a more sustainable practice, one that builds your child's emotional intelligence and their capacity to handle the ups and downs of life without needing to rely on external motivators or other people to change. All right, that was my teachable moment for you. Did you find it helpful? Because if you did, be sure to subscribe right here to my channel on YouTube and get on over to teachthroughlove.com so you can get on my list and get my weekly updates, because that is where the good stuff really happens. Thank you so much for watching and for liking and sharing these teachable moments on your favorite social media sites, and for sharing your stories, because you are making an impact and helping to support others who come here looking for understanding and ideas. So please keep sharing, and until next time, remember, it's about consciousness, not perfection.